The nature of work is changing, okay? Business environments are becoming more global. Initially, it used to be the case that if you go to school, you get better grades, then you're going to get a job. But that is not easy anymore because employers are looking for different things. Employers are looking for people with commercial awareness and a can-do attitude. In short, people with behavior and skills that can add value to the organization. And the first thing you need to understand in your quest to solve your unemployment situation, which could just be you switching from one job to the other, or actually getting a new job, completely looking for a new job, is to ask yourself, what is your unemployment situation? When economists are talking about unemployment, they usually use 3 ways to define unemployment, okay? Or are the 3 ways to calculate the unemployment. And so you're going to talk about those 3 ways and see where you fit in. The first one is structural unemployment. Most people tend to fall under this category. The idea is often that the skills they have, okay, they went to college, they did whatever they did. They have skills. But the skills they have don't meet the kind of skills that employers are looking for. In short, they have mismatched skills. Now, the key thing to note here is that skills and forms of production will always change with time. And so it's your duty to always make sure that the sort of skills you have meet the current employment requirements. A good example here would be, like right now we have all these robotics and automation that are coming up at a very, very fast rate. So you can imagine a situation where somebody works in a production line and they've been happy, okay, they're employed. And suddenly the company invests in automation, okay, or robotics. That person becomes unemployed, they become unemployed. So in this case, they're unemployed because the skills they have, okay, just hitting things and making sure those things move along the line, that's an example, have been replaced by some robots that can just do that thing as fast as possible. And at this point, it doesn't really pay to get mad at the automation or the robots because there are certain things that are always going to happen. For example, progress is always going to occur. It doesn't really mean that the progress is going to be positive, but since production is always going to change, that means that somebody is always going to get unemployed. And so to solve this, it means it's time for you to sort of improve on your skills, add more value to your skill set. The second unemployment could be cyclical unemployment. And what this means is that the economy is always going up and down. So when there's a problem with your economy, it could be the case that the economy has gone down. And what that will mean is that companies are not going to employ, okay? So companies tend to conserve, or rather tend to reduce the unemployment rate when the economy is down, and then they employ more when the economy is up. So that probably has nothing to do with your skill set, it just has something to do with the career that you are taking, and to the degree that companies feel like if they want to employ and such. Remember, think of it this way, okay? If you're running an organization, you have expenses, and salaries tend to be part of the expenses, okay? And so if you can cut back on your expenses, you tend to make more profit. Of course, you might argue that, is it the case that organizations are always going to put profit over? Yeah, it is the case, okay? Because look, if you start a business, that is what happens. Businesses are intended to make profit. So in this case, once they figure out that it's easier to just not employ more people, and that means more profit, that is what the company is going to do. So that will mean that the person suffers from cyclical unemployment. Of course, as time goes by, as we go on through the course, we'll see how to even handle such. Now, the third sort of unemployment that you could be falling under could be frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment just means that that time you take to switch between jobs. For instance, if you're an IT guy in company A and you decide to go and become the project manager in charge of some IT project in another company, or whatever it is that you decided to do. So when you quit your job here, the time it takes you to get the other job, that is frictional unemployment. So if you look at those 3, you realize that the worst case scenario could be the first one, the structural unemployment, because in that case, you realize that your skill set just don't match whatever the employers are looking for. And the second one is relatively bad because it means that the economy is so bad that they can't afford to employ you. And the third one is just the amount of time it takes for you to get to a new job. So the first thing you have to understand, okay, as you're going to go through this course is figure out which sort of unemployment are you sort of suffering from. So know that, because the next plans that you're going to make will depend on whether you actually know where you fall under or not. Don't be like those people who just say, we went to college, degrees are useless, Some are useless actually, but degrees are useless, all these things are useless, you can't get a job. Yeah, it could be the case that it's not the degree that is the problem, it's the economy that is the problem. Or it could also be the case that actually whatever you studied is the problem. Or it could also be the case that you're switching from one career to another. It just takes more time in order for somebody to absorb you. So, up to there, I hope you've understood the three forms of unemployment. Moses from Zeret Network, and I'll see you in the next video.